Okay, we're back again. It's A3 football. Just on the back of the Europa League semi-finals and the Conference League semi-finals and the Champions League semi-finals. It's been a good week of football. We're just going to come and give a little bit of analysis to the games, who performed well, who didn't perform well. So yeah, Chris, go ahead and start with the Champions League.
Yeah, well, okay, so we've got an Inter versus PSG final, right?
Yeah,
For me, I think I mentioned in our preview vid, I had Barca as slight favourites in that tie. I knew it would be a tough one. I didn't expect that many goals. That was kind of crazy.
yeah, that was a good tie.
But at the same time, really, I shouldn't be that surprised because that's how Barca games have been all season. Like they're all out attack, and that's why I love watching them. But Inter did the job, and you know what? They deserved it. Like it's you know Barcelona had all these moments of magic, like especially in that first leg through Yamal. Inter, you know, there's several ways to score a goal, and they found all the different ways over the two legs. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that's a seriously well set up team. Impressive, and yeah, they deserve it. They deserve to go through, and
yeah,
yeah, PSG as well over the two legs. Say they're the better team. You
yeah.
know,
I
what
think,
do you think?
yeah, I think Inter were well, like you said, like it's not one guy because I feel like Barcelona definitely rely a lot on Yamal's magic, whereas Inter Milan, the pace is necessary. Don't get me wrong, the Dumfries and Thuram and the pitch is helpful for them, but well, watching them based on their performances, I think they are more like you say. It doesn't really matter who scores. They get out the pitch, put the ball in the box, and whoever gets on the end of it gets on the end of it. And with the resources that they have as well, they've been struggling financially over the last few years. It's another final for them, um, and it's good. And yeah, with regards to PSG, again, I think most people will agree that this is the best PSG team we've seen in a long time. They looked superior over the two legs. They looked a superior team to Arsenal. I thought it would be a bit closer personally, but they PSG in attacking the midfield, defending in every area. They're very secure, very solid. Um, so yeah, I think in terms of a final, it's the best. It's the team that makes the most of makes the best of the situation, defends well, and then fact they just find ways to get on the pitch. Versus, I think the most balanced team, which is PSG. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good final, and we can't really say for sure who's going to win.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd agree. Most balanced team, definitely PSG, and yeah, Inter deserve credit because they're a big team. Obviously, won the league last year. It's not like they're completely broke, but you look at their team, right? Who have they spent the most money on in that team? Like it's
Mm,
probably the guys they got when they were quite young, like Barella, Martinez, Bastoni. They were all
yeah,
like 30 mil, 30, just over 30 mil maybe. I
yeah.
don't think anyone else has cost more than that. Like that's really impressive. Then you got guys like Thuram who's a free transfer.
hmm
There's a lot of Cherby, like
Even
basically
Jan Sommer,
yeah,
he
someone.
cost less than he probably for £5 million
Yeah, for
in the
five
summer.
mil after
Yeah,
selling Onana for 50,
yeah.
like the business has been crazy. Like
hmm
they've done a great job, and they don't have as much money as the big, 8 or 9 teams in Europe. The teams in the Prem, PSG, Bayern, Barca, and Madrid. They don't have as much as them. So for them to make another Champions League final, they got to give a lot of credit to Inzaghi.
Yeah,
Inzaghi's done a great job. He's one of the top managers in Europe. He's proven it now.
yeah. It's very impressive what they've done.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the
I,
Champions League. Oh, anything else?
yeah.
Third?
Yeah, I just want to say, I mean, if you're looking ahead, early, a few weeks away the final, who would you back to win?
Uh, Me, I've always been a fan of the Inter Milan style. I mean, I like a bit of an underdog team. A team that doesn't really, like you say, older team, not as not as physical as I don't know. I guess PSG. You know, I say not as physical, not as quick as the PSG team, but
Yeah, definitely.
they defend well, very disciplined, and they make it work. They've got very good wing backs, um, very intelligent forwards that can make the runs and make the moves. So yeah, me put my I believe that PSG might have enough to win, but I would like to see Inter winning, and it's a good fan for me. It doesn't really matter because either team, I think, is good for a new. It's good. It's good to not have a Real Madrid, Barcelona, like a Barcelona fan. I would like it if you could have PSG winning to secure PSG as a top team in Europe. That
Yeah.
would be good. That would be good. But for me, it doesn't really matter. Either team, both teams are good, and I don't really mind, to be honest. How about you?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with what you say, and it would be like that moment for PSG if they won, right? They've never won the Champions League before, so this would be the moment where, okay, this project with the Qataris, it's finally everything they've been looking for has finally come to pass. And ironically, it's when they just lost Mbappe, having lost Messi, Neymar, all those guys, Latan.
Yeah.
So I would like them to win just because I feel like they've got a lot of players, me personally, who I kind of feel like maybe they're starting to get the credit now this season, but like it should have been getting it for a long time, and because of things that weren't down to them, weren't able to. Guys like Marquinhos,
Hmm.
obviously Dembele started to get the credit this season,
Even
but
Donnarumma.
don't. That's a great point because until this Champions League run, I think the public looked at him like, has a mistake in him, kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and sure, he does here and there, but like, that's a great shot stopper. And like, sometimes he doesn't get the credit because of how big he is. I feel like he's one of
Hmm.
those, like, you don't realize how good a save he's making sometimes. But yeah, so I'll be happy for them, like, a lot of their players. And that's a Champions League winning level team, like, honestly. Like, but at the same time, Inter, it'll be a great story because as I said, look, they haven't got the resources of these other teams. So if they won it, it's a great story and a great sign to everyone else in Europe that all right, things aren't too unbalanced yet. There's still a chance for everyone else. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a good review of the Champions League. Um, I can't remember when it is. Is it? It's
I think that's the 31st of May. That's the
okay.
Champions League final.
So
Yeah,
at the end of the month, we'll have the
yeah,
Champions League final. Looking very forward to that. Yeah. The Europa League semi-finals have just been completed. It will be Manchester United versus Tottenham at
Mhm.
the Bilbao Stadium. I'm not sure about the date either, but yeah, that's the Europa League final.
yeah. I
Um,
think that one is the 21st of May, so quite a bit earlier
okay,
before the season finishes.
okay. So yeah, I think that's another good game. I think. Oh, let's talk about today's games. I was watching the Man United game. Which game were you watching? Any of the games?
Yeah, I watched parts of the United game. I couldn't watch the whole thing, but I
Okay,
saw the goals.
okay.
Yeah,
I think Tottenham did. We'll talk about Tottenham first because I didn't really watch the match, but I think
yeah.
they did a good job to see off Bodo Glimt, especially in Norway, because a lot of teams have been struggling on that pitch. But they managed to win 2-0, didn't concede. Quite a convincing victory for Spurs. Um, as for United, I don't think they started very well. I think it was a bit like last week where when they started, when it was 11 versus 11, they couldn't really control the ball, they couldn't dominate the play. Um, it's not a surprise, with the squad that United have, but it seemed to shock a lot of the people, especially the commentators, that Man United are struggling to hold on to the ball. But yeah, I think Bilbao even got the first. Did they score in the first half?
Yeah.
So they got the first half goal. So it was a bit nervy, um, but the second half was very good. When Amram brought on the subs, he made very good substitutions. Ahmad always, whenever you bring him on, he's always in immediate impact. To be honest, I'm not disappointed with what Amram is doing with Ahmad. I think he's working him into the team. just like he's doing with Luke Shaw, just like he's doing with Mason Mount. Like he's not giving them too many minutes. He's allowing the other guys that are fit to carry most of the minutes, and then he'll give these guys cameo appearances. I like it, but yeah, Ahmad came on immediately, had an impact, taking on guys, turning guys, easy. Mason Mount came on. You can see his confidence has grown a little bit as well. Mount managed to get 2 goals.
2 great goals.
Yeah, two very good goals. You can see it's 2 goals you can see of somebody whose confidence is increasing. Who else? Casemiro, great header, looking very. I don't know. The last few games he's been looking different class. You know, he's been looking a different. I don't know if he's fitter. I don't know what it is, but he's, you know,
Yeah.
guys. The opinions of Casemiro have been changing quite a lot. What else? Oh, Hoyland. Ahmad set up Hoyland for that goal. So yeah, you know, it was a good confidence builder. I believe that the team that ended on the pitch, not necessarily the team that ended on the pitch, but Ahmad, Mason Mount, guys like that will be a very necessary. Like we need those guys to when we're playing against Spurs because, yeah, that. Especially Ahmad. I would say Ahmad for sure because we just look a lot more convincing going forward. When Ahmad isn't on the pitch, we don't look like a convincing team going forward. We rely on on someone quick, like Garnacho getting past the last man, and even him with his finishing, his so finishing, you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. How about you? What was your opinion of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just start quickly with Spurs. I didn't, I caught the goals and stuff. Just looking at their lineup, you know, they've struggled this season with injuries and stuff. So it's been one of the first times they've really been able to get out a lineup where you look at it and you go, oh, that's a really strong team, start to finish. You know, top to bottom. And it's balanced as well, and it's like, yeah, that's a good team. You know, you look at that set of players, and it's like it's got a lot of what you what you'd think would be a team that could challenge at the top of the table, not, you know, where we both are in the Prem at the moment. So, you know, no, I wasn't surprised with everyone fit that they went through. As you said, it's a good to win by, was it 5 goals over Bodo Glimt? That's impressive, and it'll be tough in the final. But yeah, United, agree with what you said. Very slow start as always. You know, it's very rare when we're playing against 11 men for us to have any control in games. You know, that's not an over exaggeration, but you know, we turned it around at the end. Obviously, it might have been a little bit about the fact that Bilbao had given up at that point, but I think more credit does need to go to Amarim for those subs, and I think what those subs should tell people is that if we're looking at the final, the lineup he picked at the start of the game wasn't really working and hasn't really worked all season.
Yeah.
And if he plays that against Spurs, I'm not very confident. But if he brings in some of these guys, Ahmad for sure. I mean, if Ahmad's not starting against Spurs, then we've got a huge problem, you know. But yeah, Ahmad, you know, Mount's just coming back to fitness, but I'm a big fan of him as a player. So, you know, if you can get a couple of games before the final, why not him? You know, so for me, someone like a Garnacho, that's someone you bring off the bench in the final. You know, you don't need to be. But yeah, I mean, anyway, I think, yeah, Casemiro, you mentioned as well. He's definitely improved. I think he is fitter. I think he's also just being asked to do a little less running. You know, he still has to do running, and in this system, you know, everyone, especially in that front five, has to do a lot of it. But yeah, he's definitely improved. I've been impressed in recent weeks and months with Yoro a lot.
Oh yeah,
Yoro in that
Yoro
left
was good
centre back
today.
role, I like him a
He was
lot.
very good today.
He can drive forward. He can play passes. He's a very good defender. Like, you know what, that left centre back role kind of suits him very well. And you know, I know Martinez will come back next season and stuff as well. But honestly, if you know, that's great. I'm very happy with our defensive options. I'm not worried about that at all. So, yeah, if we look ahead to the final, I wouldn't say I'm confident, but I would say we have the team. We have a team available that should be able to beat Spurs. It's just I think a lot's gonna come down to what Amarim decides to start with. You know. How about you? Are you confident?
Um, no, I wouldn't say I'm confident because if you look at the season, I think Spurs have beaten United 3 times already this season.
Yeah, good point.
Um, yeah, it's a tough one because like it's the final, anything can happen. So that's what I'm kind of, and I do think if certain guys are playing, like someone like Ahmad, um, Mount, obviously Bruno Casemiro, if we do have a strong lineup, then I have some more. The stronger the lineup, the more confident I have, and the more confidence I have. It's not an impossible task. It's by no means a huge feat to beat Spurs, but I think we should be wary for in the final. It's not as easy as some people might think. Um, yeah, I think it should be a good game.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited. It's a huge game for both clubs as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
Huge, like it changes so much about definitely the transfer window.
Hmm.
If whichever team makes the Champions League, right, it changes both of our budgets, and I think both teams need the money.
Yeah.
Especially Spurs probably, but we're struggling with FFP and stuff. So and it also changes the outlook because if after the season we've had, we're still in the Champions League, then you know at least the new players we can kind of sell them a dream of, oh listen, this might have been the worst season ever at United,
Hmm.
but the future's bright, and same at Spurs. So
Yeah.
yeah, huge game.
Okay. 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 Conference League finals. Chelsea are through to Conference League finals. I think easy
Hmm.
victory. Um, the Fiorentina Betis match is at extra time.
It's extra time. Oh, I didn't even realize. I
Yeah, it was
thought,
two. It was
okay,
2-1 to
oh, they,
Fiorentina. So,
oh, they
so
came back. Okay,
oh,
all right,
Betis 2-2
2-2. Okay,
as
all
Zulu.
right. So,
So right now
okay,
Betis are going through. That's what it looks like at the moment. Um,
okay, yeah. Um, Chelsea would be the favourites either way in the final,
of
wouldn't
course,
they?
of course, of course.
Yeah,
I mean, with
and
Anthony, with the form Anthony's in,
yeah, you never know. It'll be a tough game though. Either way, Betis or Fiorentina, but it's looking like Betis. That would be a tough game for Chelsea. A
mhm,
one-off game. They're a good team. But if Chelsea play their strongest team, you'd have to favour them.
of course,
Um,
of course.
and yeah, should be a good game. I think that's on the 28th. So yeah, just after the season finishes.
Okay. Um, anything else that we haven't covered?
And not
Um,
too much. We could probably do a bit of a deep dive into things, for maybe the Champions League final coming up. But yeah, looking forward to the season finally being over soon. We've got a lot we're gonna drop on, looking back at how the season's gone so far. And yeah, that's what's gonna be coming out these next few weeks. So yeah.
okay, excellent. All right, okay. It's been good. A3 football. We'll see you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much.